What is up, everybody? It is your boy Matt Turner back again with another video. I'm really digging this fitness series. I got a lot of information for you guys. I've been going through all my old notes from studying with ACE, and so I came across something that I felt like I should share with you guys. Some of it might be information that you guys already know. As you can tell by the title, I'll be going over some tips, really only four tips for preventing yourself from relapsing, whether that be with, making a habit of going to the gym or with your diet. It doesn't really matter. The principles are still the same for both, and they could be interchanged. So these are some tips and tricks, and just so you guys know, this is information that I learned from studying with ACE. As you guys do know, I studied with ACE, the American Council of Exercise, and unlike a lot of other different certifications out there, I can't say too much about what those other ones really go about. I know NASM is a little bit more functionality based, not that ACE isn't. But ACE really emphasizes behavioral change, which I personally really enjoy because, changing your behavior when it comes to fitness and wellness is literally like 50% of the entire battle. The other 50% is equally 25 of actually exercising and doing a good nutrition. So let's just get right into it. And tip number one, build a strong social support group, whether that is online, in person, through email, however you can find it. Build a strong support group, because that is going to really kind of decide how, when you are in a bad situation, you can function, if that makes sense. So for instance, me and my girlfriend, we have very completely different diets, like completely different diets. I have very restrictive calorie intake because of my goals when it comes to cutting. She's kind of like, I'm gonna eat whatever I want, and I'm okay with that. She's okay with that. But also, when we are out together, sometimes there can come that conflict of, okay, well, I want to eat McDonald's, and well, I can't really eat McDonald's because then too many calories that of my day are gone. So then, having someone who is understanding of your goals, what you need to do, can really help make sure that you are staying focused, because then it changes the subject from, okay, maybe let's not do McDonald's. Maybe we're both in the mood for something a little bit, not necessarily super healthy, but something that I can still eat healthy with. For instance, Subway, not necessarily the most healthiest thing if we're being completely honest, but it does allow me to kind of be a little bit more in control of the calories that I'm taking in, and not necessarily taking in a whole lot of fats. So yes, building a strong support group definitely is a very big thing. For those of you who don't know, on Reddit, if you're trans, there is FTM Fitness. I'm not so sure about what there is for trans women, but I'm sure there's something out there. If there's not, hit me up, because as you guys know, I am all down for creating groups on Reddit for marginalized groups. Small little plug, we have now r/black transgender, so that is the all-encompassing page for black people who are transgender. Go check it out. It's kind of slow, not a lot of activity, but it's there in case you want it. So definitely, yes, have a strong support group. Tip number two, be honest with yourself and straightforward. So this doesn't necessarily mean, like getting in and down on yourself and, really criticizing yourself. But like when you come to an obstacle or a hardship, like you really truly have to be honest with yourself about what your goals are, what your current actions are, and how your actions are going to affect your process to getting to your goals. So for instance, recently I've told a few of you guys that I've changed up my workout routine. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I have changed my workout routine. Real quick, go follow me on Instagram at Morgan7551. I post almost daily tips, tricks, pictures of me, my progress, all of it, it's on there. So you'll know I've been trying to change my routine lately, and for a hot second, I really had to be honest with myself and kind of have a come to Jesus moments and say, I'm currently doing a routine. I'm tired of my routine. I don't think I'm having progress with my routine. And here's my new routine, which at the time I was changing to try and, fit my needs more. But in the process of doing that, I was actually really changing this already good, amazing routine to basically replicate my last routine. Like, I was basically almost doing the exact same thing, and I really had to step back after a few people, kind of came for me. I had to step back, put my pride aside, and say, they have a point, like, why am I trying to change this really amazing routine that has a lot of good reviews, it has amazing results, to something that I was just doing that I don't think has good results or isn't giving me the results that I want, isn't truly optimized, and kind of like get over that fear of missing out. And I realized that was a really big thing. And so far, for all of those who follow me on IG and everything, I am loving my routine. My current routine, which I changed to just kind of be exactly the structured thing that was already pre-made. I'm absolutely loving it. 100% is giving me everything that I needed that my old routine wasn't. And if I hadn't been honest and straightforward with myself and able to put my pride aside, I probably wouldn't be where I currently am today. Even though I'm only a week into this routine, I wouldn't be, making the progress that I am if I wasn't able to be that honest with myself. Building on top of, being honest and straightforward with yourself is going to be self-regulation. Now, of all the tips of these 4, number 3 is definitely by far the most crucial and most important one. Now, think about this, guys. When it comes to nutrition, there is really only one thing preventing you from, making gains or losing weight or whatever your goal is, and that is if you can moderate yourself. So for instance, me cutting, I can have junk food, I can have, salads, I can have whatever I want because I follow calories in, calories out. We'll do a whole nother video on that. But if I allow myself this junk food, if I'm not self-moderating myself, I can easily eat a whole entire package of Oreos. I've done it before. I can eat a whole bag of Zapp's Voodoo chips because those are my favorite. Like, it is not hard to eat a ton of stuff. And so having the ability to self-regulate, self-moderate what you're doing, whether it be for weight gain, strength gains, cutting, whatever it is, that is going to be crucial in your progress. So for instance, if you are trying to increase strength, self-moderation would kind of look something like, okay, I am adding on 2.5 pounds per session. You could keep adding on those pounds, and to every single session, but if you're barely getting a rep out, or you're doing partials on all your reps and you're doing 15 reps for one set, you're not really giving yourself the due diligence and the ability to make as much gains as possible. So having that ability to moderate what you're doing, saying, hey, and this, again, it builds off of being honest with yourself, saying, hey, I'm not ready for this weight. Don't add it on. Like, there's no point to it. Work through the weight that you can and then add on the extra weight when you're ready. This is completely separate from being scared of adding on weight because you think you're gonna crush yourself. This is completely different from that. This is, you truly know for a fact that if you try and bench, what's a beginner number? 150, that's what I'm benching. That's my one rep max right now. I believe so. I haven't done a 1 rep max for bench in so long. So the last time I did it, it was 150. If I tried to add on 10 pounds when I can only get 1 rep to my 150 bench, it's like, why did I even try? Because I'm not, first of all, I'm going to give up having good form for it. And then secondly, I'm putting myself in the position to have an injury, which could then take me out from having, you know, being able to go to the gym and stall my progress, because now I got to recover from some kind of torn pec tear or something, like my chest concaved in because the bar fell on me. Don't be scared about that. Just, you know, practice safe technique. But self-moderation really comes into that. And this also goes a little bit into your routine. If you create your routine to already kind of take into these considerations, it can definitely help with, you know, the amount of self-moderation and self-regulation that you have to do, because then you only really have to focus on the really, really difficult times when self-moderation is going to be necessary, like with your nutrition. Lord knows I struggle with that. Goat cheese and Zap chips, and I can eat a lot, guys. I can eat a lot if you let me, and I won't lie, like, it is so hard. So lastly, and this is what I am very, very good at because I am a planner. So for those of you who are not very good at planning, you may struggle with this, but it's okay. Work through what you can, make the progress that you can, just try to do it. No one can ask more of you than to try your best at this, which is basically prepare yourself for high risk situations, or basically the worst case scenario. So for nutrition, this might look like going bowling. I love alcohol. I can easily down 3 or 4 things of bourbon, easily. Now that's like 500 calories. So I know that when I go bowling, I'm going to want to drink. And so I prepare myself. I say, hey, you get 2 drinks. Usually it's going to be a hard cider, which are usually roughly around 100 calories each. And I stop after that. I say, that's it, no more. I got what I wanted. I allowed myself what I needed. And then when it comes to also being at that bowling alley, I know I'm going to see a lot of French fries. I'm going to see a lot of boneless wings. Well, bone-in wings. I eat chicken tenders, as my girlfriend would say. And so it's going to be really hard for me. So I plan for that high risk situation. I already know that, hey, when I go to bowling, I'm going to meet all of these things. And so I need to mentally prepare myself for the fact that I will be putting myself into that situation. Again, all of these kind of build on top of each other, because if you work on your self-moderation, then, and you work on your ability to, you know, plan for high risk situations, you can kind of put them together and say, hey, I know I'm going to this area, I'm going to go do this thing, it's a high risk situation, so I'm going to automatically factor in the need for self-regulation and self-moderation and allow myself these things, you know, because you only have one life, YOLO, live it. Wow, that's really old. I'm cringy, y'all. And you're going to basically, like, allow yourself to have fun, but also do what you need to do to keep your goals in mind. So yes, last tip. prepare for high risk situations or worst case scenarios. I'm very good at that. I only plan by worst case scenarios. If you've met me, you know this. I will arrive somewhere 30 minutes before the thing is even ready, because in the film industry, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, don't bother showing up. So I only plan for worst case scenarios. And when it comes to me personally, nutrition, planning for worst case scenarios is really beneficial. Obviously, not everybody can do this. Some people really struggle with planning. I get that. Don't let that be an obstacle. Like, do what you can to plan. If that is writing something on the wall, do it on the wall. Well, maybe not on your wall unless it's a dry erase board, but like on your mirror in the bathroom. Before, I would always, you know, when I lived in a college dorm, I would write on my mirror with an expo marker my goals, the things that I wanted to meet, and those just kind of helped me do this. But I understand that for people who struggle with planning things in the long term, that can cause a lot of anxiety, a lot of mental struggles. So again, just do what you can. Be patient with yourself. Everything is a process. Everything is a journey. And as you guys know, with my tattoo, there are many ways through life. There's not one path to get from point A to point B. You just kind of got to do with what you're given, make the best of what you have, and try to reach your goals. You can only be the best you. You can't be anybody else or have the same things as everybody else or go through the same struggles. I mean, you could go to the same struggles, but like the severity of emotional state as you go through those struggles will never be the same. I'm beginning to ramble, so I'm gonna cut it off here. As you guys know, it is your boy Matt Turner. Make sure to hit the like button, comment down below. Go follow me on Instagram if you love my fitness content at Morgan7551. You can also find that at the end of the screen. I post a lot of fitness content almost every single day, along with tips and tricks and quizzes and information that I've been learning from the ACE manual. Subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you can stay up to date on when I post videos. And as usual, I hope you guys have a great morning, evening, day, or night, wherever you are, and I will see you guys next time.